The Army Major sent in a song about him. Here we go.
Who's the fat man with his shirt off? That's Bert. That's Bert. Who's the fat man who's a public alcoholic? That's Bert. That's Bert. A true jackaloo.
Yes.
It's nice to have an Ojeda presence on this show again. I've missed him.
It's 24. He's got to be back in our lives, baby. He's on fire. He's on fire right now.
That's right. Are you a Bert Kreischer fan, Austin?
I liked him more as a person than his comedy. But I'm a big Tom Segura fan. So if you like Tom, you kind of have to just deal with Bert, which,
It's interesting you say that because Tom was actually the inspiration for this segment, because on the aforementioned Who Are These Socials the other day, Carl played me a clip from Tom's social media. And Segura's in this weird place where he's got some inner conflict going on, where he will bash the poors, as he calls them, like poor people.
Yeah.
And which is kind of, that's been a bit of his for a long time, but it's taken a weird turn. And
it's kind of a Tosh.0. It's kind of Daniel Tosh kind of, I think is the best at this, kind of.
Yeah.
And Tosh kind of does it more, I guess he rips on rich people, which is hilarious because Daniel Tosh has been rich for over a decade.
Well, what's weird with Segura's bit about it is, like, he seems to think people are mad at him strictly because he's shitting on poor people, which I don't think that's true. I think the reason his audience is kind of annoyed at him, or at least a portion of his audience, is because it feels very out of touch. It's not that Tom has bits about being rich or other people being poor or whatever. It's that they will go on for 20 minutes about the new watch Tom got, the new car Tom got, them flying private, whatever, and there are no jokes about it. So people are like, this is not only an unrelatable story, but you're not making it funny or interesting. You're kind of just bragging.
Just bragging,
There doesn't seem to be a point to it. Yeah. So Carl showed me a video that was kind of in line with that same theme, and that inspired me to see what Bert Kreischer was up to. Because I like Kreischer more than a lot of people. I shouldn't say a lot of people. The guy sells out baseball stadiums, so he's doing all right.
Yeah.
But people on the internet, I guess I'm referring to.
Right.
Like, I'm sure we'll get a lot of comments on this video talking shit about Bert, but I genuinely like him, and he seemed like Austin,
I
like his personality. Like, they call him the Jimmy Buffett of comedy, which I think is an accurate representation. It's not a thinking man's comedy, but it can be fun. Like, he's a relatable guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch a special that he puts out, but I'm not gonna be like, wow. Again, besides the machine, what joke of Bert's are you like? Oh, this is Bert.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a Chappelle special where there's commentary that you're really thinking about after,
No, or like a Segura or Jesselnick, or like where their jokes are like, you can name 5 jokes in the special.
But I've never had a problem with Kreischer. Maybe I'm starting to worry about him as a fan of his, because he might be getting dragged down the same road that Tom is going down. So you could tell by the way I titled this video, it's something to do with his self-help stuff, because a lot of the videos I found were, hey, Bert's losing weight, getting into shape, bettering his life. Great for him. Not necessarily a great recipe for comedy. So I wanted to check out some of his Instagram posts recently and see what you guys thought about him.
Yes, I have 4 here, Mike. Which one you want to go with? I got 5K, The Machine, Humanitarian, and What a Year.
Let's start with The Machine, because it's him talking about the nickname that he has, and this is someone who's putting, I think, too much weight on his success. Like, he's focused, he thinks the story of his success is what attracts people to him. And it's not. It's his personality. It's his sense of humor. It's things like that. It's not like, wow, Bert lost a lot of weight. I want to be a fan of his comedy now. But this is an interesting angle on what he thinks his new career trajectory is.
My dad told me, I don't know if it's true or not, I love pressure. And when I realized I have one show to get this special, I have to be flawless. I have to be flawless in everything. I remember Leanne just very casually going, well, you put yourself here because you love pressure. And then my buddy Tony Hernandez said, fuck it, you're the machine. And I went, And I'll get emotional talking about it, but I shut off and was like, yeah, this is what I fucking love.
Yeah.
This is
okay. This is something like Stuttering John does that really annoys me. When you get emotional talking about your own greatness.
Yes. Oh, it's so gross.
When you're like, I was thinking to myself, boy, I've accomplished a lot of great things, and I'm getting a little choked up thinking about them. Like, you're supposed to do that for others, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe your relationship with someone, how someone inspired you to be great. Not thinking like, boy, I'm so driven. You know how driven I am? It's making me cry thinking about it.
Enough to bring myself to tears.
Yes, you see a lot of this in the coach world, where coaches are talking about their coaching history and they're crying about their own life. It's really ridiculous.
But again, if that's, if it's Dick Vermeil talking about how great it is to watch, Kurt Warner's journey or something like that, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with a little bit because you're kind of thinking about how you helped this person or how this person helped you, whatever. When it's solely like, boy, I and I alone have done a lot. That's a weird moment to choke yourself up on. Even if it's true, I'm not saying it's not true. I think Bert Kreischer's an incredibly hardworking guy. Look at what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't make you well up when you think about how great you are.
Every time you bring it up in an interview, it shouldn't make you cry.
This is the new trend in podcasting I'm noticing, Austin. And as you're a young comedian, so I'm going to lecture you here. Don't do this.
Let's hear it. Yeah, no. I cry in private, man, like you're supposed to do.
Something that happened a lot in podcasting, and I was guilty of this, was making the same points about cancel culture over and over again. That became a thing where you could turn on, I could name 50 podcasts that you could turn on, particularly Rogan in that world, where they're making the same points about cancel culture and how you can't say anything anymore and all that. And I got hooked into that a little bit. What I'm noticing now, a trend in comedy with guys like Kreischer and Segura, talking about how far they've come, and how hard they work. And that is something that's not particularly interesting to the audience. Like, I'm not a working class man, so I can't relate to this, but I'm just imagining someone that throws Two Bears, One Cave on as they're fucking, roofing in the summer or putting up drywall or something. And they're listening to Tom and Bert pontificate about how hard they work. And, oh, man, the struggle when I was coming up playing the funny bones and all that horse shit. It's like, yeah, you guys have worked very hard, but not as hard as the majority of the people listening. Like, that's not a unique thing to have to work hard to achieve your goals. That's not solely unique to Bert Kreischer, and that's, I think, what frustrates a lot of people.
Yeah, like any comic at especially at my stage, hearing them talk about hard work, like, I mean, I'm sure they have worked harder than anything that I can ever imagine, but like,
Sure.
dude, just like you said, it's roofing in the summer is hard work.
Right.
This is fun. This is what we get to do.
Even like Austin as a young comic, if someday everyone knows the name Austin Ingalls, undoubtedly you'll have to work hard for that. But that's not unusual or unique.
No,
that doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what you have to do to get there.
Yeah. I can't remember who the quote was, but they said you gotta work hard to get it and work even harder to maintain it. I think Dr. Dre maybe, but I mean,
it does seem like him. Yeah.
It's a perfect analogy.
All right, let's finish. Let's hear Bert talk about how hard he's worked.
Yes, and it appears that everyone wants to be a dues payer. Yes.
Yes, you got to pay your dues. That is true.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's a popular term right now.
Yeah.
In this situation, this is where I thrive. I thrive when the net's been removed. That's when I focus in. And that weird comfort of you're the machine. It's the fucking greatest nickname I accidentally gave myself drunk in Russia.
Yeah.
It's like when my back's against the wall, that's when I really thrive. It just seems like self-help, like, Gary V, Tony Robbins bullshit. And that's the death of comedy. And that's what I'm like.
It's the Jocko thing again,
Yeah.
Like they all are just too deep into that shit.
Yeah, that's where Rogan's done a lot of great things for comics. That's where he's done people a disservice, is getting them to smell their own shit far too much. And like I'm sure there'll be comments on this. Like anytime we talk about Matt Rife or one of these guys, like there'll be comments like, "Oh, you're just jealous" or whatever. And I'm sure there'll be some of that talking about Bert and Tom. No, I'm a fan of these guys. Like, it's cool to watch them.
I love Tom and Bert. Love them.
it's cool to watch them succeed and grow. Like there's a lot of guys now, Gillis, Tim Dillon, Sam Morrill, Mark Norman, Joe List, that are very successful right now. That like I listened to their podcast when I was probably one of a couple thousand people listening, and
awesome.
now they're some of the biggest stars in comedy. So like that's cool to watch. Same with Bert and Tom. It wasn't that long ago that they were relatively nobodies, and now they're massive. But you don't have to beat us over. That doesn't need to be your only content, is reminding us that you were once nothing and now you're something. Like, there can be more, I guess is my point.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 years ago, no, it was probably late 2012 in Peoria, Illinois. Tom Segura was at the Jukebox Comedy Club where I started comedy. So, like, yeah, it's not that far off, that time window. It's like, hey, man, don't forget you were at this shitty comedy club.
Right.
So,
well, what's interesting though, Austin, in that time, you probably have laughed a lot, but I don't want to get you choked up. He's worked really hard since then. So that's something you should take into consideration.
He's paid his dues.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, would you like...
Can we hear about this 5K now, Heckrod?
Yes. Oh,
this is again something that was rooted in funny. I did see one clip. So Bert and Tom are putting on a 5K. I think it's happening soon, right?
Yeah, they got a lot of comics.
Yeah, so I saw it's very funny because they were like, "Hey, it'd be hilarious if we got like Tim Dillon and Stavros Halkias and guys that are completely out of shape. Yeah, to get in shape and run a 5K. Like that would be cool. That's a funny idea. That's where comedy comes in. Mm-hmm. But these guys, again, when you're talking about smelling their own shit, they've taken it a little too seriously, I think. Like I would say keep it funny, but this is the angle that Bert has taken.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Bert Kreischer, the machine, and I have stripped down the process. I'm monitoring what I eat, what I drink, and I'm working out no matter where I am with whatever the Lord gives me, because I am getting ready for the 2024 Tops Off World Tour. Better, faster, stronger, and way funnier. I'll see you on the road, starting in Arizona, ending in Austin. Rogan?
Oh my God.
Drink it in.
Holy shit.
Oh, there goes our monetization. We are staring at Bert's ass. Blind Mike, you understand this.
Well, get it off the screen.
It's actually not as bad as I thought. All right, here we go.
All right, at least it ends hilariously. But but my point, like the music involved and the like, hey guys, you know what you should be excited about for my world tour is that now I'm in shape. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, like staring
the
at
fat fuck that ripped his shirt off. Now he's got a six pack.
Jack's
Very
always,
relatable.
Bert's always been like fat Jack. It's weird. He's always had like it doesn't look terrible, his body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got a good gut. And I think that's probably the drinking.
That's what it is.
He doesn't seem like a crazy overeater. I think if you get fat solely from drinking, you've got a decent shape to you.
Yep.
That's the way to go. That's the way to get fat, guys. You know?
Triggers.
That's unkind. He's on Ozempic.
All right, we have two left here. We have the Humanitarian and What a Year.
You know what? Let's do What a Year, because Humanitarian might be a good one to end on, where it's just like douchey. Oh. But yeah, let's hear this is again like what's funny about that? Like even in the video, I get he shows his ass or whatever. That's the big reveal. But the substance of the video is very like, look at what here I sit on the mountaintop. Won't you join me?
I don't know why he thinks him being naked is so like provocative and edgy at this
point. Yeah, diminishing returns. I think.
Get on Instagram. I can see any half-naked chick in the world.
Right.
I mean.
By the way, Heckrod, are we gonna get taken down for showing his ass?
I don't think so.
That
think we're okay.
looks like a shoulder. You could argue that's a shoulder.
After the episode, I'll edit it out.
All right, that's all that matters. As long as we don't get taken, I don't mind if we get demonetized. But
yeah, no, we're all good. So here, be careful. This one's scary.
Can I get a drum roll, please? Perfect. 2023 was possibly the best year of my entire life. I started the Tops Off World Tour in arenas. Then we went to Europe, where I brought the Barstool guys to Amsterdam, where we celebrated Winston Churchill Day. I'll be doing that this year in Austin on the 24th. I'll see you there. I came home. My special Razzle Dazzle dropped on Netflix. I then went to Australia, New Zealand, came home again, and my major motion picture, The Machine, dropped in movie theaters, then hit Netflix, where it streamed #1 for almost a month. We did Fully Loaded, 18 cities, 32 comics. I was 275 pounds, but I lost 45 fucking pounds, motherfuckers. Then we hit Red Rocks, Fully Loaded to see where we broke records for gambling and for drinking Guarana vodka on the first night. What? And then Tops Off World Tour closed out. In arenas, we pick up again January 18th in Tucson. Then Tom and I are at the Super Bowl, where we have a big surprise to share with you. Then I tour this material until July, where I shoot my special for Netflix, and then I take a break. I've been touring straight for 19 years. I've earned it. Catch me if you can, motherfuckers.
God damn it. You know, like, we did an episode of Why You Laughing about Eddie Murphy's Raw that debuted in theaters. But what is much funnier is when Eddie Murphy talked about the box office success of that film. That's what got a lot of people howling, is when you talk about the numbers and how successful
when you brag
things
about
were. Yeah. He ends it with something I just hate that I'm hearing a lot in podcasting, is how, like, I deserve a break. Like, I've been working so hard, I deserve a break. Good for you. And, like, if you're promoting things and being like, Jesus, I got a lot coming up, that's totally fine. But when you're just making a video to promote a break you're taking, like, that's where these guys have lost touch with their audience. It's not a thing that...
They're like the girls on social media that they're like, hey, I'm taking a break from Facebook for a while, and then like 2 weeks later they're back on, and it's like, nobody missed you, nobody acknowledged your break. Just
that's a good point. There's an element of like, are you guys gonna be sad that I'm gone?
Are you guys
gonna
be sad that I'm gone? Are you gonna miss me? Are you gonna acknowledge me? Like,
guys,
I think
try to make it through this, but you may not see me for a while.
It's like a thoughts and prayers thing.
Again, like Louis C.K. took a year off of stand-up, and he talked about it on Rogan, but he didn't make an Instagram video where he's like, guys, I've been through the ringer. I mean,
guys, do you know
they
that
tried to cancel me.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and what's our last one, Hackride?
Oh, we have Humanitarian. This one is ridiculous.
This, like, what's bothering me is, like, I like Bert Kreischer, and yet I think me and Carl have played similar videos about, like, John Cirasani. And that's what worries me, is he's going down a John Cirasani road, which is a road that no one should be on.
What's he doing, brother?
No, I wanted to thank you for donating to Habitat for Humanity for the 4th house, based on the Bucks, so I appreciate that.
Brother, you do not have to say that. That is, I got...
You don't have to say it. You put a camera in his face, Bert.
You don't have to say it, but let's record it.
It's a 4-camera shoot on both ends. Don't say it.
Oh, you didn't have to say that. I thought we were going to talk about the fucking Rams in the playoffs. I didn't know. I had no idea you were going to talk about what a great guy I am, you silly goose.
Now the swinging boom shot. And then they're making a house. I guess that's what's going on here.
Oh, it's so. Hey, but it's so embarrassing that you brought that up. I hope my team doesn't post it on Instagram. That's how embarrassed I am by it.
I'm trying to see what Bert did here. He's not even doing anything at the house. He just called the guy. And, he just, what'd he do?
He doesn't have does he have a hard hat on or anything?
No, these are the players. The players are building the house. Yeah, Bert's standing out front of it with his shirt off. That's what Bert did.
He's the foreman.
Oh, it's Segura.
Tommy.
They just show up, cut the ribbon, and get out of town.
Just us. It's about the community. It's about changing somebody's lives and making the world a better place ultimately.
They're going to cut you in half a year.
You know what's funny is it would be so easy to make this a funny video because right away you pointed out like Bert's not doing anything. There's the angle. There's the angle is you have this over the top. Thank you so much for doing everything for this house, and then showing Bert do nothing. Like that's the comedic angle where you can fucking give this guy a house and have people praise you for being a great guy, but also get comedy out of it. Instead, they just settled for like, look at what great guys we are. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, they didn't do any comedy whatsoever in that.
No, that's what's frustrating.
You give him a bullhorn, and you got a whole bit right there. He's bossing around the players. That's the bit.
Right, make it clear that he's doing literally nothing other than giving them money. You know, like that's what makes it funny. But instead, it's Bert being like, "Oh, who? Little old me? Oh, please, you didn't have to thank me. I didn't invite you here specifically to make this video."
I feel like they've given Bert a blowhorn before, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't do that again, dude."